Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back on my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little different. I wanted to do a get ready with me to film. So basically whenever I do a lip swatch video, I get so many questions how I can do my makeup so everything looks good on me, everything matches. It's pretty simple actually, just keeping it very neutral, but you can still have fun with it. So obviously I have a neutral undertone, so it does help a little bit. Same thing with like my features like brown hair, brownish eyes. It does help quite a bit, but I thought I would give you a few tips here and there, letting you know what type of makeup works for me. So yeah, getting ready with me filming. First step would have to be to change in the shirt you want to film with, or if you're going out somewhere, maybe put something to protect it, because that happens quite often that I will drop my eyeliner and ruin my shirt. So I changed my shirt. Next step will be lip balm, because I'm about to do a lip swatch video, so I need to prepare my lips because it's gonna be painful. You might have seen it, I just posted the Urban Decay Vice lipstick, the 100 lipstick. So I've done last night 76 lip swatches, which I've been able to scientifically prove that that's the human limit of lip swatch in one go. So I have 24 more to go today, so I thought I would actually film the look before doing them. If you have dry lips, this is a fantastic lip balm. This is the NYX Rêve de Miel, which in Canada I think is $16. You can find, there's a few stores even online that ship internationally, but this is a fantastic lip balm. It basically saves my lips on a daily basis. Then I'm going to apply some primer. This is a moisturizing one by Smashbox. It's the step that I always forget to do. Like, what's the step you skip and don't realize? Because I know sometimes I'll like go outside the house and realize, girl, you forgot to put mascara. What is wrong with you? So yeah, primer is like the main one that I always forget to do, but I have dry skin, so a moisturizing primer helps quite a bit. Foundation, I'm gonna go full coverage because I want my skin to look flawless in the video and the pictures, and the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced is pretty full coverage, but it still looks very nice even in person. Like, it doesn't look very cakey, which I love really natural looking foundation, and I have pretty good skin, so it does help quite a bit. But even when I have like a bad skin day, I usually just stick to like natural looking foundation and heavy coverage concealer wherever I need it. But today I want to look absolutely flawless, so I'm going for full coverage, and this one is the color Porcelain, which it's not that light, which I'm glad that they came out with two lighter shades, but this one is pretty neutral undertone, so it works quite well. I've started going outside, so I feel like I'm 10 different shades all over my body. It looks a little bit light compared to my arms, but if you compare it to my hand, it matches me. I don't know if I'm the only one that has that issue, but like as soon as we start having a bit of sun, I just get different shades everywhere. My legs are still really white, so as you can see, full coverage, it covered everything. We're gonna keep that team and go full coverage on the under eyes too. Makeup Forever, this is the Ultra HD concealer. I'm gonna use the corrector and then the concealer. Honestly, there's not a huge difference in the colors unless you go deeper for the shades. I'm using Art 22 under my eyes to correct, and I really like that color. There's a little bit of peachiness to it, but the lighter you go, the less difference there is between the two shades. So honestly, you might just only need one and do like two little coats and you'll be good. So I'm covering my dark circle with this one to correct them. I like that it's still very natural, by the way. Like, it doesn't look overly cakey, which again, under eyes that are dry, skin that is dry, same thing for the under eyes. So this still doesn't make them look super dry, which is fantastic. But as you can see, just one coat kind of covers enough on a daily basis. That would be enough for me. But like I said, we're going full coverage, so I'm gonna apply the concealer too. I have the color Y23, which is just a little bit more yellow, but it's still not too yellow that I can't pull it off. By the way, you don't need a lot. Like, it seems like I'm applying a few coats, but honestly, it's the tiniest little bit. It just spreads very easily and it covers. I kind of appreciate that it's like a squeezy tube, because I feel like I can really control the amount I'm applying. That was my issue with like MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. The pump, I would always put like way too much on my hand, and I would feel like I would just waste so much product. Okay, now that I look human again, I'm gonna just apply powder all over my face because bright lights in my face right now. It's kind of not sunny today, so I needed more lights, and it means that I look a little shiny. So we're gonna set in place everything. If I had any pimple, that's when I would cover them. I usually use either the Makeup Forever full cover concealer, which is fantastic. It's waterproof, resists everything. Drugstore option would be the Maybelline, I can't remember, oh actually, here it is, Master Conceal. I need to get a summer shade, but that is full coverage and that would be like the closest dupe I could find at drugstore. I feel like I'm always looking for something that is right in my face. So I'm going to use the NARS. This is the translucent crystal powder. Loose powders, there's so many of them that works. You don't need to spend that much money. Personally, again, I have sensitive skin. I react to quite a bit of stuff and again, dry skin. So there's not all powders that will work for me. This one is more on the expensive side, but again, it's going to last me forever because I don't use a lot, but there's a lot of drugstore options. Drugstore option. I feel like I speak weird this morning. It's still early in the morning. I'm trying to start my day early and it's like not working fully. Brain is still sleeping. But if you are interested in trying the powder, I do recommend it. I just know that there are some cheaper options that would do the work pretty well too, but it's the one I have, so I use it. I'm just going to use a smaller brush and do my under eyes too. Set that concealer. On a daily basis, I don't necessarily powder, but again, camera, bright lights, and I just want to look as flawless as possible. Let's continue to face. I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Milk Bronzer. It's starting to be a bit light, but I like it. It's easy to just pack it on instead of like going too dark and like having to blend. And I'm using the Too Faced Mr. Right brush, which I've been using quite a bit lately. I've been using it for powder, bronzer, blush, like pretty much everything, and I'm really loving it. So I'm thinking about getting like another one so I can have more than one everywhere. The scent of that bronzer will never get old, like chocolate every day. Yes, yes please. I'm not going to contour because honestly, I have pretty defined cheekbones and just bronzer kind of emphasizes them quite a bit, and I feel like on camera it can be a bit much sometimes. So I think bronzer will be enough. I'm just going to add some blush. I'm going to use the Benefit Rocketeur, which now we're starting towards like the tip and tricks. Obviously, neutral blush would help. I feel like a lot of people do already wear neutral blushes, but this one is great. It's kind of a rose gold color. On me, it's a little bit on the warm side. Obviously, your skin tone will affect it. The first layer was like very shimmery. Now it's very natural, and again, I'm using the same brush because I like it. I'm trying not to overdo it, but my cheeks get pretty red whenever I just touch them, so it's gonna look very intense at first and then it's gonna calm down and just looks and it looks okay afterwards. So highlight, I've been trying a few different ones, but I went back to my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo in the color 01, which I know everyone was about the 02, but 01 just works better for me. I haven't touched it in a while, so I'm gonna play with it again because why not? Oh yeah, that's a really nice one. Not sure if you can be, oh yeah. It's a nice one. Like it's shimmery, but it's not over the top. Like, I feel like we've all been so obsessed with highlights, but I like pretty natural ones, and this one is really good. I think I'm gonna go with the brows because why not? I went back to using my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I was using the Hourglass one, which I love the color, but the shape is making my life so hard. Like, I'm trying to make my brows look decent, not working. So I just put my mirror closer. I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to stay in the frame. It's harder than it looks, surprisingly. So I went back to using the Brow Wiz. I'm using the color Granite, how do you say that in English? I'm not sure. It's a bit dark for me, so I have to use a light hand, but I like the shape so much better than the Hourglass one. I thought it would make my life easier, but it was the opposite. Before after, you can see it's just defining them a little bit. It doesn't look too dark, but when I let my hair down, it does look a little bit more black than the rest of my hair, but whatever, I prefer it to the messy brows. I feel like lately my brows have been a mess because I was trying the Hourglass one, but it's just not working for me. I'm going to use the Benefit Gimme Brow in medium dark to just add a little bit more volume to it. They are coming out with a new packaging. I'm curious to see if it's going to work better because I feel like this one, the product tends to accumulate a little bit on the at the top. But I love the product otherwise, so I'll happily test it out. On a daily basis, I either just use this or the next product, but in videos, I feel like especially this brow, there's always hair doing this, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna set them in place with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Clear Brow Gel, which is super glue for your brows. This works really well, so I'm just gonna apply it just to keep the brows in place, especially at the end. Especially this brow, because it always does its own thing. Priming my eyelids, and then I'm gonna apply some face powder just all over them just to set that primer in place. Just makes my life easier after that to blend. Now the eye makeup, the trick is to just stick with like neutral-ish colors, whether it's cool tone, warm tone, but as long as it's pretty neutral, it usually works. I'm gonna use the Stila in the light palette, which I know isn't sold at Sephora anymore, but I will link it down below. The Stila Soul palette is basically the same thing with more colors. So I'm gonna put up the image whenever I use a color to show you which one it is in that palette because they look pretty darn similar. I don't have both, but close enough. But honestly, it's mostly the idea of using this type of color than using this color exactly. So I'm gonna start by using a mid-tone brown in my crease. This one over here is the color Bliss, and it's perfect for that. So I'm just gonna use a big fluffy brush and apply that in my crease. Don't want to go too dark either, just because I want the lips to be the center of the attention, but just defining my crease a little bit and just adding a little bit of color in my on my lid will just help a lot. All over my lid, I'm going to apply the color Kitten, which it's probably in every single one of their palettes because it's a great champagne color. And I'm also going to use it later on in my inner corner just to brighten them, but I just want to apply a little bit of this all over my lid. And then I'm going to apply another color just to tone it down a little bit because it's pretty bright. The color I'm going to put on top is the color Sunset. It's a little bit more warm, a little bit bronzy color. Just going to tone it down a little bit. Together they look really good. Just going to apply a little bit of the same brown color on my lower lashes. I'm just going to apply a tiny little bit of the darker brown, which is Sandstone, in my outer V just to define it a little bit more. I'm not going to overdo it because I'm still pretty fair and like I want, like I said, the lips to be the main focus, but I just want to define it a little bit more. Then I'm going to apply a little bit of Kitten in my inner corners just to brighten them up a little. Now probably the toughest thing to do on camera is going to be to apply some eyeliner. I feel like I'm always like out of focus, out of just the frame. It's hard to look, seriously. I'm going to use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in the color Black. This is one of the best eyeliner ever. It's dark. It is waterproof. The only thing is it's a bit shiny. I wish it was matte, but you know, if that's the main issue I have with it, it's pretty good. Lately, I've been putting my false eyelashes before mascara. What do? Do you put them before or after? By the way, I'm wearing the Ardell Demi Wispies. I just got a little bit at the end so they fit my eyes. They look very natural, but they just give you a little bit more volume and more lashes, especially at the end. So I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Super Sizer Fiber Mascara. So yeah, this is the final look. I'm just gonna do my hair and I'll be back in 1 second. So as you can see, this look can actually look good with pretty much any lip color, even a black one. Now I'm off to go swatch all those lipsticks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.